Hello everybody. My name's Christy. I am a Chalkology independent designer, and I got cut off earlier because my phone died. We have one charger in the house that is effectively charging 3 devices right now, so sorry about that. I'm actually just going to pick up where I left off. I was doing the French market transfer. I'm just going to show you the finished product of the other one that I was doing. So just make sure that this is working. Okay. So this is the one I did earlier today. As you can see, I put some magnets on it. Those are just the magnets I used just to show that this is also a magnetic surface. This is a Chalkology surface. You can hang that back up on the wall. So I had a few more plans for the video that I did earlier, but I'm charged up. I've got everything attached to cords right now, so hopefully everything will work fine this time. No interruptions. Just opening up. Okay. All right, so you did see earlier, I washed this this was brand new when I started today, and I've washed this transfer like 4 times or something like that. And I've put it back onto this surface to start another one. So you can see the stains from earlier, like that's where the yellow was, that's where the black was. But the stains do not affect whatsoever your transfer. So I was going to do this one here with a different transfer in the center of it. Although I think I'm just going to carry on with this transfer. Because on the second surface I was trying earlier, this is a whiteboard, so it's erasable, and I think maybe that's why I was having problem getting adherence to it. It is pretty slippery. I don't know what they've coated it with. It was from a dollar store, so it's not a Chalkology product. It's not a big deal that it didn't work very well. That's off center. I'm just gonna pick that back up. So this board I've already stained. Sometimes when you stain wood, you're gonna see right here, when you stain wood, sometimes it won't cover fully.
Hello.
Oh, Siri can hear me. Siri's been doing that a lot lately. Hearing me when it shouldn't be. So I'm just trying to carefully center and eye out this transfer because it is a little bit larger than the surface I'm putting it onto. And actually I've noticed that there's a lot of noise when I'm pressing it, so I'm actually just going to throw a towel underneath it while I work to just avoid that obnoxious banging noise that I'm getting. Alright. Okay, so I did, as you saw before, it was a black background. I used white for the frame, the shimmer silver for French market, and the bumblebee yellow for Le Français Produit Le Marché. So this one I'm going to use something slightly different just to show off some of these beautiful colors that we have. And I think I'm going to still frame it with the white, but I don't think I'm going to use the gold on the brown because that I've used as background and it kind of blends in nicely with the brown, but it doesn't really pop off of it. I'm thinking of using either the guava, because I really like that one. The red would really pop off that, actually. maybe we'll do some of the red, white. I'll think about doing that one maybe. That one is a custom color. See if I use that, I'm not sure yet. See how it's looking as I'm going through. So I do have a brand new clean bath of water, as I've been charging for a little while now. Get some stir sticks out. Three colors, 3 stir sticks. Definitely need a small mini half for that. Alright, so I did open up my white paste this morning, or this after, I guess it was like after 12, so it was this afternoon. So the consistency of the white is perfectly fine right now. My candy apple red, however, does probably need to be stirred and maybe have some water added to it. It's pretty good, but yeah, I can see some pull. When I'm touching it and I'm seeing it kind of bunch, I know that I need to stir it and add some distilled water. I'm always scraping away from, before I add water or start working with it, I'm always scraping the sides here. So there's a lot of dry product that'll be towards the top of the container, and that's just from offloading, because you're scraping off the squeegee and you're putting the product right back in. So as you can see, it's always kind of right back to the top, but totally fixable. It's not giving you a very good a very nice picture of the red. It's actually a lot more vibrant than it's showing up on at least one of my screens here. So I've added some distilled water just with a spritzer bottle. Starting to get low on my red too. It's almost time to put a new order in, but I like to, because the colors change seasonally with Chalk Couture, I like the idea of trying to use up as much of the season, like the last season's colors, before going crazy and ordering a whole bunch of new colors. But the red, the yellow, and the blue, the white and the black are my basic colors that I like to have, primary colors, and then of course the black and the white. Black and white I use all the time, so that's got its sheen back. I could actually probably throw that in the microwave and give it some heat. And I'm just gonna put that down. Alright, so I'm going to do, as I said, I'm going to do the white frame. I'm actually feeling like I might add some water to this one again, because earlier, if you watched my video earlier, you did see that I scraped a lot of the hard paste around the edges into the container. So I added water, and that was enough consistency, enough for the consistency of the stuff that was already was already soft, but now it's started working that water into incorporate the chunks of dryness, the dry chalk, so then it dries up a bit more because the water is going into the dry stuff. I'm just gonna add some more water, give it a stir, and get a nice texture back. Here we go. That's looking nice. Okay. Drop my stir stick down. I'm actually gonna move this over just a bit. I hadn't planned to use the towel under it, but it was banging a lot. So obviously this piece of wood that I'm using is not 100% flat, but it is purchased from a dollar store, so it's not a Chalkology product. And I really don't think the flatness is going to matter once it's put on a wall. So I'm just loading my paste right across. And this board underneath I've already stained and waxed. So I stained it with an espresso stain. And then I waxed it. If you are curious at all about which products I'm using for waxing and staining, please contact me and I will give you that information. Also, my page probably has a few pictures posted of what I'm using. So please feel free to check out my page. All my pictures, all my videos. Subscribe to my YouTube account. Just pulling that up. Ooh, see? How nicely that came out. Beautiful. All right, so now I'm gonna use this candy apple red. Where's my, oh, there it is. It's in the water. My small squeegee is a great size for this. The small squeegee is the squeegee that comes with the designer package. We do have, and I keep starting to touch on the squeegee sizes, and then I forget to tell you the rest, but we do have quite a few different sizes. So this one is the small squeegee. This is the one that comes with the designer pack. I use this for almost every transfer, but I ordered these mini squeegees, as you can see the size difference there. And they work fantastic as well, especially for the smaller areas. Like you saw that I used it on this one, like around here, because it's the width of it. And then I've also started cutting these mini squeegees directly in half, as you can see there. And that's good for right here on the words, the smaller words, when you only want a certain amount covered. But I do know that this small squeegee will work perfectly over French market. So now we do have, I don't actually have the angled squeegee, but it's bigger than this small squeegee, but it's also quite angular. It's got a whole bunch of different angles on it, and it's I think it's thicker. I don't own it, so I'm not really sure. And we also have a handled squeegee that's actually quite big. It's like, I should have brought it in to show you guys, but anyway, I didn't. It's about that wide across. And it's also on a handle. You can take it off the handle and just use it on its own. But it comes with a handle that you can attach. All right, so you do see that there's some lumps in my red, and that's because of the dry chalk that I've put back into the container. These lumps that are in it will not go through the transfer. They will not show up. It's not a big deal, and those lumps can go back in, and as the water starts absorbing into the lumps, this is still product. And actually it seems to double. The dry product, because there's no water content, is a lot less than it actually is when it's rehydrated. But anyway, no big deal at all. Pull it up. I'm pulling up as I go. Ooh, beautiful. Pulling up as I go just so the chalk doesn't have a chance to dry before I pull up the transfer. If the chalk dries while the transfer is down, it effectively gets pulled up with the transfer because it's dried to it. So when your chalk is wet, it is the best time to pull up your transfer. Man, that red looks really, really nice off this brown. And it looks like I went a little further up here when I caught that frame with some red. Chalk is very forgiving. We can fix that. And because I've pulled up a little bit further, I'm just gonna flatten that back down. And because I know that I've pulled up this way, I'm actually gonna try and go back towards it because it's still wet. I actually feel like I might want to use my small squeegee for this. Or my mini squeegee, rather. I can see I've got a lot of excess of the red around these small words. I don't want that to mix in with the words once I get there, so I'm just going to try and clean that up a little bit. These half mini squeegees do a great job. And pull up. How nicely that comes out. This red is super pigmented. I love how bright this is. It really, I'm looking in the cameras as well. It really pops up. It might depend on which device you're seeing, which device you're using, how nicely the colors come up. I'm looking at my iPad and the colors are almost perfect, but then I'm looking at my computer screen and my computer screen makes it look like an orangey red, but it's actually a really, really vibrant, bright red. Okay, and so I'm just gonna drop that back down. And I think because of, I think I'm just gonna wait on these words here and do the bottom frame because it looks like it's coming really close, and I think that red's gonna end up bleeding through into whatever other color I do. So like either I can try and ombre it, or I can just wait till it's dry. So I think I'm gonna wait till it's dry, and I'm just gonna do the bottom frame with the white. feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of repeating since this feed is going out separately from the original one where my phone died, but you can go to my website, and I've actually tagged it in the live post as well. So it's chalkology.com/I'm Craft Hands 2020. So Craft Hands 2020 is just one word. And check out our products. We've got a ton of transfers and different pastes and inks. All of our pastes and inks work with the same transfers. This one will work with ink and with chalk. I'm just gonna pull this up. Perfect. I'm trying to decide which color I'm gonna do here. I don't think I like the look of the blue with it. For this specific one, I might actually use green. I feel like that's way too Christmassy. We're coming up on spring. We don't need to be thinking about Christmas right now. So I'm actually gonna, I said I wasn't gonna use the gold, but you know what, I'm gonna use the gold. I really love the shimmers. The silver and the gold is what I've worked with. They have a copper, but I haven't had a chance to work with that, so I'm not really sure, but I assume it'll work exactly the same as this, and I really love the look of the shimmers. They've got sparkle in them. Something I already touched on in my last video is that the translation is incorrect on this. It should be Le Français, not Le François. See. I knew that was going to happen. And I did it anyway. The red's mixing right in. So I'm just going to go right over that. And I'll probably have to come back to it. No big deal, because I'm coming back to this A anyhow, where there's an O, I'm going to put an A. But I am going to wash my transfer first because I do not want just throwing this all in a bath of water here. Keep my gold out, I will be using that one again. Just offloading any of the excess right directly back into the container. Anything that hasn't been mixed with another color can go right directly back into your container. And I'm putting all my materials right directly into a water bath. So my squeegees and my stir sticks, or my spatulas and my squeegees, are all going into a water bath. Because this is water soluble chalk paste and it will wash off right away. Just gonna pull out my water bath. Pull off my transfer, and I'm gonna put that right directly into this water bath here. You may be able to see, yes, you can see the water bath. So all the little squeegees and all the little stir sticks are in the water, and I'm just wiping it away. It's as simple as that. My water bath before was quite dirty because I washed this transfer off so many times. You will see this get dirty real fast, or pasty. It's not really dirt at all, is it? You do see some of the paste still on there, but that's no big deal. Paste washes off. Or at least this towel has had paste on it and it has washed off. Ink is a permanent product that we also have. And I'm actually planning to show you that using this transfer as well. As soon as I'm finished with this one. A whole bunch of squeegees. I wasn't originally planning on doing the inking on my first video, but since I had to wait a few hours for 2 devices to charge so that I could come back on and can finish my video at least. And because I was going to do this one and it just kind of abruptly cut off, and not really the best way to end a live. So you can see that this water is quite rapidly becoming red or pink because I've got the white and red on this. And I'm just using a bath of cold water. I'm using a broiling pan. That's what I usually use. This scrubby I made, and I've been using this specifically for my Chalkology since last May. So it's quite stained. But it's working very well. You don't put a lot of pressure when you're washing your transfers. You don't want any stretching of the transfer. You don't really want to put a lot of pressure at all on the backing, the adhesive backing. But I do like to try and go over it and just with my hands and get any of the paste off of the silk screen. As long as my silk screen is not blocked, it will continue to work. Many, many, many uses. You can see, maybe you can see, that there's a little bit of the white paste on this, like just at the edges. Of this design. Mostly at the top though. Well, I mean, I've done the top a few more times than the bottom. Because that whiteboard sure did not. And I'm not saying that whiteboards don't work. Whiteboards absolutely do work. I think it's just specifically that whiteboard from that particular dollar store. I mean, dollar store stuff isn't... It's not always the greatest. Sometimes it works fantastically and sometimes it doesn't. So... just kind of trial and error. Especially with non-Chalkology items. And this is giving the board that I'm working on a chance to dry before I overlap. Which you will see in a minute. And actually I need that towel. Yeah, just place my dirty water back in its little compartment here. Well, I grab my towel from underneath of this. And again, this towel is only here for this product because it was making a lot of noise. I like that. And I found that quite irritating. I don't know if it comes through as irritating to viewers, but it's irritating me. There we go. Alright, so you can definitely see how pigmented that red is. Like, it does not want to move. But as I've said, it does not affect the transfer. So you can still see how much red's coming off onto this white towel. But it does not affect your transfer to have a stain at all. So my goal right now, before I try and overlap and fix and put the A, because Francois is a guy, and Français is a language. And this transfer, as I mentioned earlier today on my other live, this is an exclusive monthly transfer that's only available to Club Couture subscribers and designers. If you're just a regular, and yay, if you're a regular customer, that's great too. But if you're not a Club Couture customer, which is a monthly order customer, you don't receive this and you can't buy it online. It's exclusive for the month of March, and each month a brand new exclusive transfer does come out. So this one is just for March. Just gonna flip over my towel so I'm using the driest part of the towel, not the... You can see the stickiness is starting to come back now because it's drying off. But while it's wet, the adhesive side is completely slippery. I guess what I'm worried about the most is this, where this A is, because I need to put that back over top. Like, I mean, and you don't need to sit here and towel dry it, really. You can just wash it and put it upside down, so adhesive side's up, and wait till it's dry and then put it on its backing. The reason that I am going to taking the time to wash it is specifically because I'm going to go over top of this and add the A. And that is the only reason. Okay, so, and like I'm sure that's dry by now. Yes. All I'm doing right now is I am going to take the A that was here on the transfer and add it here instead of an O. And I'm going to line it up with the N. I'm going to line up the A right beside the I in that N there, so that I know that's the exact spot that I want it. And I'm just going to come back with half of a mini squeegee and very little product because I just want to cover that A part there. That's all I'm doing right now. I mean, I could go back over the entire thing again to brighten up that gold. But I think it came out pretty nice, actually. Just pulling that off. Nope, that was too... That had been there too long. I took way too much time for that. Just give me a second while I wait for that to dry fully before I put it back over top. That didn't come out quite as well as I was expecting it to. I didn't probably push it down quite enough. Just gonna give it a chance to dry. I can pull out the hair dryer, which is what I use to quickly dry some things in between. We do have transfers that are meant to be overlapped. So like, for example, I've got from last year, there's a pair of sunglasses. So the inner part of the sunglasses, like your the shaded part, you can do one color, and then you can come over top of it and you can put your frames in a different color. So you're overlapping constantly. And we have quite a few like that. We have vehicles. We've got a truck. There's like a bug, like a VW bug, and there's a camper, like a trailer. And all of those also come with, not unless you purchase them, but they all have packages to decorate seasonally. So with the truck, with the trailer, and with the VW, there'd be like a Christmas package and a fall package, and I think there's St. Patrick's Day, there's Valentine's Day, there's summer, they've just got so many different additions that you can add on. So this truck, this car, and this camper can be used all the time and just refreshed with new designs, new colors. It's just fun. I have the trailer. I don't have the truck or the car. I really, really would like to get them, but I mean, can't buy everything at once. Maybe it's because I don't have the towel under there. That could be. So I'm just going to actually pick the A from Marche, just because I haven't already chalked on it before it was washed. Just going to line it up with what I have there underneath. So it comes out perfectly. And actually there's an R beside Marche, so that'll line up really well with the I from Francais. And just being careful to line it up perfectly. I need to give that another try. Did I mention that I love how this red looks? Yes, I did. There we go. Gorgeous. All right. So now I'm going to actually throw that back in my bath of water. I should have brought couple baths of water for the live, but I did not. Should almost do this right in the kitchen so I can just dump it. Continue on. But I do use this room. Why was this ever not like on screen? Sorry about that. Okay. So love this. Love the color coordination here. I love the gold with the red and the white. Beautiful. Alright, so I am washing up this transfer, and I am going to, or I plan to, show you this transfer used with ink. So you can see how quickly you can just wash these transfers up. You really don't need to use them back to back like this. I rarely use them back to back like this, drying them and going right to another project immediately. But you can. So it's pretty important to see how reusable these are, how often or how quickly I can clean up that transfer and I can start a brand new project with the exact same transfer. Not only with the chalk paste, but also with the chalk ink. Not chalk ink, but Chalkology ink. So I'm just gonna allow that to dry upside down and move my adorable French market sign out of the way here. Hanging on the wall behind me. All right. I was gonna do that. Maybe I will change my mind on the next surface here. All right. So, what I have here is a unironed, clearly, a pillowcase that I've made. So it's quite large. And it's got an open back in the middle here. It's gonna be hard for you to see the whole thing on camera here, but I don't even remember where I got the fabric for this. I made this quite a while ago. So I am now, I think I should actually iron it before I, not because, like, I mean, it'll flatten out, but I want to make sure that I place it. I'm just going to move my logo out of the way here and put this towel down. Move my pastes because I'm not going to be using my paste. I will be using my ink. And I'm going to let this towel down here. Flat. Just to protect the surface underneath, because I'm going to iron it so that it's centered properly. It's really difficult to tell where your center is when it's not been ironed out nicely. I'm sure I could have done this before I came on, but guess what? I'm bored. So I'm just gonna plug in my iron. So when you're ironing anything, I'm not giving ironing lessons here, but essentially any fabric that you can ink on has to be a surface that you could also iron. Or that you could also add heat to. And the setting that you're going to use for setting the ink as permanent will be whatever the setting is for the type of fabric you're using. So this is cotton. Cotton's really great to work with the ink. So I will be using an iron setting for cotton, and then I will be using the cotton setting to set the ink permanent as well. This is not an ironing board, so it's not really the best surface to show you guys how to iron, but I guess that's not really the point of the video, is it? Now this pillowcase has, let's see, I've even This pillowcase has a lip in the back to open up, as opposed to a zipper, which I really like. My favorite type of cushion definitely has to be the type that opens up with a pocket in the back. As I said, I made this quite a while ago, so I mean, I've just washed and dried it and left it sitting in a cupboard. Because I really haven't done any inking on pillows yet, but I really need to start. And show off this gorgeous ink. So once it's set, and I'll probably end up saying this a few other times, but anyhow, once the ink is set, heat set, it's permanent and it's washer and dryer safe. I have not had a problem whatsoever with the ink product. Cracking or fading. It's actually been fantastic. So I'm just gonna put the iron over to the side here, not touching anything, because the next thing I'm gonna do here is I'm using, this is just a, as you can see, this is just a board for quilting and cutting, right? And the only reason I'm putting this under here is just to lay the fabric flat. Uh-oh. The phone's ringing and I'm just gonna be ignoring that. It's probably nobody. I've had a lot of telemarketers lately who I've asked to stop calling, and one guy actually laughed at me and said, "Okay, I will call again." I'm like, take me off your list. I will call again. Hopefully that's nobody important. Sorry if it is. Anybody who knows me kind of knows that I go to Messenger long before I go to the telephone. Okay, so just trying to, should have really just done this before, or ironed this before I came on video, but this was not the one I was going to use. So I'm just trying to center it as best I can so that when I put this on, it will just come out looking nice. So my opening is through the middle here, so this is my surface. And as I said, I'm going to use the same exact transfer, and you will be able to tell that this is the same exact transfer because it's got all of the staining on it from the project that I did today that you all saw, from fresh brand new transfer to stained brand new transfer all in one day. So now with my ink product, I only have 3 of them. I've got a black, a white, and a gold. Excuse me while I take a drink of my coffee here. So a black, a white, and a gold. That's my paste. There's my ink. Black, white, gold would show up quite a bit off that. I really like the gold too. Maybe I'll do gold today. I could do gold and black. White would not really. I mean, it would show up. Or I could even mix the colors into a gray of some sort. I don't think the white would show up very nicely at all, so I'm just not going to do that. This is a really light green, like a sage green, as you can see off the color of the towel. It's almost, I don't know. Now I'm kind of wondering if I should do the white. I really like the gold though, so what about black and gold? No, I'm just gonna do black because I think it'll just show up the nicest. So again, this is the ink product. I'm just gonna find my... There we go. So white, black, gold, ink. White, black, gold chalk. They're exactly the same. They're exactly the same colors. The difference being that this one is permanent when heat set, this one is water soluble. So you don't heat set the paste, it just dries almost immediately to the touch where you can rub over it. You can use like a piece of chalk and draw on a chalkboard over this. As long as you're not adding water, the paste will stay until you make a point of trying to erase it, or if it's still wet and you kind of run into it, which happens to me sometimes. But the ink over here is permanent once it's been heat set. And I'm going to heat set it today and show you. Oh, I think I'm going to do gold. I can't even make up my mind. I've got 3 colors and I can't make up my mind. So when you open up the ink, you'll notice a difference between the paste and the ink. The ink doesn't change consistency. It doesn't need to have water added to it, so I won't be using my distilled water for the ink at all. The paste, because it is chalk, it is water soluble, it is designed to be removed as you wish to remove it, unless of course you clear coat it. You'd want to clear coat with a spray. Clear coat spray if you want it to become permanent. But once it's dry, you can touch it and it won't move. The ink, you must heat set it. You can use a heat press, you can use an iron, you can use a heat gun. It must be a certain temperature for it to be heat set permanently. And you can also use an oven. So I've done mugs, I've done shirts, and I have noticed no difference between using an iron and using... Maybe I should use the bigger one. There's no difference between using the iron and the heat press, t-shirt press. I've used both, and I haven't had a difference in experience. So as you can see with this one, I'm going all the way around it, and there's nothing that's all dried up. The ink doesn't do that. You may go through more ink because you're putting ink on if you're putting ink on fabric, because it soaks into the actual fabric. You probably wouldn't see a big usage on like mugs, stuff like that. I don't know if I want that on there. As I said, the ink is permanent. So anyway, you can see how it's got that glossy look to it. Perfect consistency. And now I'm just going to... And the ink doesn't dry right away. So you have a little bit more time to kind of play with the color. I really love the effect of the... When I'm putting on the ink, I can tell the difference between... Like, I wouldn't... Even if I put the wrong lid on, I would never mistake ink and chalk. They definitely have a different consistency. This is such... it's almost slippery. The paste is what you would expect. It's a paste, right? Like, I don't want to say it's the consistency of toothpaste, but like if you know what toothpaste is like, you know that it is pasty. And this is a lot more slippery, the ink. Doesn't show up on camera, I know, because I've used the gold a few times in videos, but it's got a shimmer in it. I don't know if you can see that, maybe when the light hits it. And I'm not worrying right now about pulling this up right away, because I know that it won't dry right away, so I don't need to worry about hurrying up to pull this up. But I'm going to show you right now anyhow how lovely this comes out. Isn't that great? And the same thing for this ink, I'm going to put it right back in the same bath of water that I've been using. I'm just going to put it in upside down and let it soak, and I'll get to that when I'm finished my project here. Yeah, I'm glad I used the gold. I really love how that looks. And again, I could have been changing colors and switching, but really I just kind of wanted you to see the smoothness when you're putting the ink on. Oh, there's my other squeegee. I didn't realize it was in here. So this one here is the big squeegee. You can see here, there's a key here. Or actually, I don't know what that is, sorry. There's these, there's these little screws here. Oh, that one's, well anyway. That other one's on pretty tight. I think I tightened it with a screwdriver. So you can loosen it, you can take it right out. Yeah, I just tightened it with a screwdriver. And you can take it right out and just use it as a big squeegee. But there's a huge difference between this one and the other one I was using. So like, for big projects, and even for this I could have, but I really don't need it for this. You're pulling it, and then it gathers right here, so then you can just like offload it into your container or back onto your project and keep going. It's a lot more sturdy than the other one, but a handled squeegee, like, yeah. Anyhow. Alright, so next thing is that I need to try not to touch it to itself while I take this board out. The only reason I put this board under here is just to keep the surface flat. While this transfers on there. That just keeps the material flat so that you're getting a nice surface adhesion. And it being this board underneath, this is not a Chalkology board. We do sell a board that specifically that they specifically use for this portion, and their board is actually sticky, so you can stick the fabric to it so it won't move. I haven't had an issue doing this, but I mean, I haven't done a ton of inking yet either. Oh, that looks so great. Okay, so I need my parchment paper, which... will be right back. Right back. Sorry about that. I guess I just assumed it was in this room, but it was not. So I need parchment paper to go in between and on top of. And that is keeping the ink from, I'm just going to wait till I'm finished. Get this in. So it's not important that this is centered or anything of that nature. It just needs to be underneath the words so that it doesn't bleed through. Now I had the mat between it when I was applying it, so that actually has no gold on it, so it really didn't bleed through. Some fabrics do bleed, but anyhow, parchment paper is in between, and then I'm going to put another piece right directly on top. And then I'm going to take this iron, which is set to cotton setting for cotton fabric. All right. And so now I'm ironing just with a regular, no, I'm going to flip that because it's wet. And it moved. I lost my train of thought there. So, yeah, I really lost my train of thought there. It needs to be ironed with a regular iron. That's where I was. Just a regular iron, nothing special about this iron. I do have a t-shirt press, as you may have seen on some other videos that I've done. But the iron seems to work just as well. I'm testing it out right now with the shirt that I've actually got on. If you can see my shirt. That one was done with... Closer? There we go. That one was done with an iron, not a t-shirt press, and it is holding up just as well as all the other shirts that I did with a t-shirt press. So it's supposed to be about 4 minutes, but I'm kind of going back and forth just to get both sides all at the same time. About 4 minutes at your setting for whatever fabric you're using. And I'm doing the outside first, and then I'm going to actually flip the fabric so that I am ironing from the other side as well. But once I've done this top layer here, it'll effectively already be dry. I'm just kind of curing it by going to the other side. Or curing it from the back. And I would do that with a t-shirt press as well. I would do both sides. Nothing different about it. I guess maybe the difference between the t-shirt press and the iron is just that it's faster. When I use the t-shirt press, it takes me 13 seconds, or no, hold on, it's 18 seconds. Sometimes 30 seconds. It kind of depends on how much product you have on your actual fabric. And that's a setting of 325 Fahrenheit. for the t-shirt press. But anyhow, it's a lot quicker. It's not 4 minutes per area, just a quick done, and then you flip it over, done. You can throw it in the washer and dryer. I haven't started washing my clothes immediately after doing a heat set. Generally, you would like to, or I've heard you should, I'm not even sure if this is accurate information, to be honest, because I haven't tried it, or I haven't really followed these instructions and it's still all come out fine, that you should wait 24 hours before heat setting it, and wait 24 hours before washing after it's been heat set. I have, with the most recent inking that I've done, I haven't allowed it any time to set. I've just cured it. And the shirt that I'm wearing, it's holding strong. Haven't had a problem whatsoever. So I believe that'll be approximately 4 minutes. So I'm just going to I think I'm just going to try and leave that parchment paper in place if I can. I made this pillow before I had my surgery. That's a vast difference. You don't usually see your pillows inside out, do you? Alright, so iron this a little bit better. That's alright. It's an older one, and it's just for me. So now I've turned it upside down, so the design is on this side of it, right here. You can feel the pocket right there. So I know that it's right directly under here, so I'm just gonna do the same thing. You need 4 minutes for the whole thing, or just move it around. And try and make sure that you're getting the entire surface covered for 4 minutes. Now I'm not putting any pressure on this. The iron itself has quite a bit of weight to it, so I think that's quite enough pressure. Right. So I personally feel like that is quite enough time to iron it. I'm just going to unplug this iron because it is super hot. This is the same parchment paper I've been using for all of the projects that I've done recently. Iron that out a little bit better. It's a finished product, I will. I'm just gonna move this towel out of the way. Right. And you can now see. Actually, let me just grab a pillow. Really need to get working on some more of these pillows. Just these pillowcases, rather. They've got, oh my goodness, they've got the cutest collection of ocean life right now. They've got an octopus and coral and, oh, I'm just leaving my parchment paper everywhere. An octopus and coral and a compass and just rope and stuff like that with little sayings on. Well, this pillow is actually for another pillowcase, but anyhow. You can now see it inside the pillow, or on the pillow, and this is now cured. This is heat cured. My parchment paper's going everywhere. Let me just move that so I can stop. There we go. Center that so you can see the entire design. So now that I've heat cured this, it is good for the washer and dryer. I don't have to take any special precautions, or at least I have not been taking any special precautions with this Chalkology ink. I throw my laundry in and I take it out, and that's all I do. I don't even bother to turn it inside out. I have not had an issue with it. How cute is that though? I love this transfer. Again, this is the exclusive March transfer. The only people that are getting their hands on this are Club Couture customers, which is a monthly subscription customer, and designers, which is me. So I'm just gonna one transfer. I don't know how far I'm going to be able to get this in. One transfer, and it's still going strong. I'm just going to wash it and we can reuse this several times over. I wonder if you can see how, there you can sort of see, at least on my iPhone, you can see the shimmer in this gold. So that's what the shimmers are like. You've got you must be able to see that a little bit at least. Reusable transfer, it's good for ink and chalk paste. I'm super happy with this product. I find it is incredibly easy. Their designs are always on par with what is going on design-wise in the world. Again, in the month of March, there is a every fourth transfer free. So customers or potential customers, you right now for the month of March, so you've got like 11 more days left. No, hold on. Today isn't the first day of spring. I just wish it was. Today's the 18th, so you've got until the 31st to get this awesome deal where you're getting every fourth transfer free. It's a stackable deal. So if you want 12, 3 of those 12 are going to be free, and that's just the way it is. Our shipping right now for Club Couture customers is $9.95, and that excludes your Club Couture monthly transfer that you get free shipping for. But if you'd like to purchase anything else as a monthly customer, you're receiving your shipping for a flat rate. Any customers, just regular customers, not a monthly customer that wants to purchase, your flat shipping fee right now is $13.95. So you can buy as much as you want, and it's a flat shipping rate. If you would like to be a Club Couture customer, it's $26.99 a month, and your shipping is free, like I said. And then you're gonna get the exclusive transfer that nobody else is getting, every single month sent to your house. So that is fantastic. Along with the transfer that comes, you also get 3 single paste packets. So those would come with coordinating colors with whichever the new transfer is for the month. If you would like to find out more about being an independent designer with Chalk Couture, please message me, and I'd love to fill you in on all the details. Independent designers get a significant discount, and you can build a business under you. Everything that we have is online, and you can look at it as a customer anytime. Please go to my site if you want to see our catalog. That's available there. You can see the different colors of ink and paste that we have, as well as all the transfers we offer right now. Please keep in mind that we also update our transfers and colors seasonally. So right now for the spring and summer of 2020, we've got brand new transfers out, but those will also be updating. They retire transfers so that it's not a copy of everything out there. They're constantly updating it so that you're not going to have the same thing in your kitchen as somebody else has in their kitchen from 2 years ago. This is a constantly updated program. Any questions whatsoever, please feel free to message me. Chalk is exactly what I like to talk about. I'm happy to talk about chalk any time of the day. Please like my page, follow my page. I will not hound you. If you do not want to be a customer, you don't want to be part of it, that's fine. But liking my page helps me get the word out. Please share my posts. If you like what you see here, share my posts so people can see it. I have a YouTube account and Instagram account as well. My handle on almost all of these accounts is /crafthands2020, all one word, except for YouTube, because you can't have a vanity name until you have, this is a new policy, I believe. You can't have a vanity handle until you have 1,000 subscribers. I also cannot do lives from my phone to YouTube until I have 1,000 subscribers. As much as I can do it from my computers are really a lot more outdated than my devices, so 1,000 subscribers would be amazing, just so that I can go straight from YouTube and share to Facebook. Please keep that in mind. It's nice to support people who are trying to make some money and do something that they absolutely love to do. This is completely up my alley. Since I found this, I have been just ecstatic. This is exactly what I've been looking for. It's almost zero work for me because it comes ready to work with. The product is incredible. The silk screen transfers are incredible. They're washable, they're reusable. We have permanent, we have water soluble. Like, there's every type of medium that I need to do the things that I love to do, I can do. And you just have to try it. Why don't you try it? I promise you, you will be hooked. It's phenomenal. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me while I'm bored out of my mind today. Really, really appreciate it. Again, like, subscribe, follow, because following brings me up in feeds to people, and I really need that. Share my work if you like it, please. Thank you so much. Happy chalking. Stay safe. Wash your hands. And I hope we all get through this together. Have a good day. Bye-bye.